What up, y'all? Long time no see. As I'm sure you can assume, I've had time for literally nothing lately. No time for videos, no time for updates, so I'm super behind on a lot of stuff. Things have just gotten crazy hectic lately, and I keep hoping to get back into the swing of things, and it keeps not happening. But I wanted to make sure to at least make a little bit of time, although it is late, for a monthly review so I can at least keep something going on the channel so it doesn't just completely die off and disappear. And I hope that I can find different ways to try and keep this going. And I've come up with a few ideas and you guys can let me know what you think. Excuse me. So, I haven't really had time to make videos just because it takes a long time to record and edit and all that stuff. So I've been trying to come up with other ways where I could do kind of updates, I guess you could say, about maybe just short little reviews. I was thinking about just taking pictures of things like certain boxes or certain things that I want to review that don't really require a whole video anyway, and since I don't have time for it, I've been kind of considering jumping back on social media. I've never been that heavy into social media ever, and other people always run my accounts, so the only things I ever post are just links to videos that I post on YouTube. So I was actually considering just taking pictures of things and putting short little descriptions of things I find, maybe just boxes, individual things, maybe just give a quick score or something like that. Something that would only take a minute or two to do that I could squeeze in here and there versus doing a whole video that takes hours of time and processing and being home to do. So let me know if you guys are interested in that at all, because that'll somewhat keep the channel alive and I'll still be able to get my opinion out there. I'll still be able to get reviews out there. So that was an idea of mine, and you guys can let me know what you think. The only part I'm not sure on is the best way to do that. I was thinking Twitter would be a good way to do that. I don't know how many of you follow me on Twitter. And the other one was maybe just the community page or something like that, or the fan page. I'm not sure. So you guys let me know what you think the best outlet would be, where the most people would see it. If a lot of you follow me on certain types of social media, let me know and I'll try to do it on that specific thing. Or maybe just try to, I would say, post it across all forms of social media. But again, that's just a bunch of time that I don't have. So let me know your guys' thoughts on that if you'd be interested in that at all. I know it's not nearly as good as doing a video and giving like full descriptions of it, but I thought it's better than nothing because I've been talking about going back to individual box reviews for like a year now and I just haven't had time to. So I thought, well, if I do a picture and a brief description, at least that's something. It's better than nothing. But again, your guys' thoughts are what's most important and you can let me know. So, this month, we really don't have a lot. I only have 5 boxes. Another problem with just having no time is I haven't had time to get into any new boxes. A lot of you people have suggested things like A-Box and Nick-Box and a bunch of other ones. You guys have been good about suggesting them, and I do check them out. So I do read the comments and I do look up these boxes. And I'm definitely going to start bringing in some new boxes because so many have just gone away, whether the companies have gone out of business or I just haven't renewed them. They kind of disappeared over time. So I definitely want to try out some new stuff because I only have 5 this month. I only have 5 left. And a lot of these boxes have switched to a bi-monthly system. A lot of them do that where it's every other month. And some of them are even quarterly where it's every 3 months. So it's even harder to do a really good solid review when most boxes don't show up in the same month. Back when I first started the channel, everything was monthly. Everything came every single month, and it was never really necessary. It was not necessary to be every month. And I've said that from the beginning, if you go back, that these boxes didn't need to be monthly. So many of them had put so much pressure on themselves to put out a good product each month when it didn't need to be every month. They just followed the whole magazine subscription idea, and that's what they did. It was good for me because everything came every month, and I could do a review of all the companies right then and there, but it's not the best business strategy. So I think it's better that they do bi-monthly stuff because it gives them more time to put out a better product. And you know, everyone knows if there's ever problems, manufacturing errors, shipping errors, it delays boxes, it causes shitloads of problems. So I'm pretty okay with the bi-monthly and the quarterly stuff. Quarterly's pretty far apart. It's kind of hard to stay relevant when you're not that often. So I'm on board with that. It just makes it difficult for me to do a monthly review. And if you guys have suggestions on that too, I'd love to hear them. On ways I can do boxes and compare everything. Maybe I can switch to a bi-monthly system. I don't know. A lot of thoughts and ideas running through my head. And then if you guys would please weigh in, and then maybe I can come to some decisions and maybe make some changes and make it easier and happier for everyone to do. Anyway, if you're just tuning into this channel for the first time, hello, welcome. This channel, this video, as always, is to help you find the best monthly subscription box help you find the best products for your dollar, help you to find the best of the best without spending a lot of money. So that's kind of what I do here. And this video isn't going to be crazy helpful because I have very little boxes here, but as soon as I start subscribing to more boxes when I get some time, they'll get more into the swing of things and we'll figure out how to do the best reviews. So, one thing to keep in mind, normally I put them in order of importance or quality and things like that. This month specifically, I really wouldn't count on the order and the number too much at all because I only have 5 here, and in my opinion, these are kind of the best of the best. So many have gone out of business and so many have just canceled because they weren't good anymore. So these are all really good boxes in my opinion. I'm pretty happy with any of these. Normally there's ones that suck and ones that are good, but since I just have so few little left, these are all honestly really good boxes. And if I re-thought about things, I could probably put them in all kinds of different orders, and I'm sure your guys' opinions, you'd probably put them in different order too. Normally the order matters a little bit, but this month specifically, it's the order that I go in really doesn't make a big impact, so keep that in mind. So also, contest winner is always in the description. If you want to be entered into this month's contest, post the link of my channel somewhere, anywhere on social media, then send me a link back and you'll be entered and we'll do random giveaways. I finally did get to some of my other giveaways, so that's something I did. Finally sent out giveaway boxes to a lot of people that have been waiting a long time, so those winners, it takes me a while to get them out to you, but they do get there eventually. Anyway, so let's get into the review process. We got 5 boxes here. We'll talk about them a little bit. And this video is kind of evolving a little bit less into good boxes versus bad boxes and more just detail about boxes. So if anyone is tuning in for the first time, you can get a brief overview of each one of these boxes as I talk about them. I'll show a little picture and maybe that'll help you decide which one's best for you. And like I said, these 5 I think are all really fantastic, and next month it's going to be a different 5 because some of these are bi-monthly. But anyway, I've talked a lot. I think that's enough talking. Let's get into this whole video process. So the first one I'm going to share, in no particular order, is the Disney Treasure box. And this one was Tiny Town. And right off the bat, I'll say this is obviously a Disney box, no big surprise there, by Funko. So it's pretty obvious what you would be getting from this box. Disney items made by Funko. So that in itself is a very clear indication of what to expect from this box. So it's very obvious in that sense. And also, this box also seems to follow a very particular pattern, as do most boxes from Funko. They have the Marvel, the Star Wars, DC, and now Disney. Each one of those has a very specific pattern, so again, they really know what to expect. The only variation between boxes is really just the characters. So if you're a big Disney fan, definitely the box for you. The only problem with this is, and I won't even say a problem because I don't mind it, it's definitely, what I've noticed, it's geared more towards Disneyland, or Disney attractions, like Disneyland, Disney World, so on and so forth. Which is fine, I love Disneyland, but I live right down the way from the original Disneyland, and I've been around it my whole life. My grandfather helped build that Disney park, so I've always been tied to it. I always have a special place for it. It's really great for me. But the problem with that is that like 90% of America is nowhere near a Disney park. I think there's just the one in America. No, sorry, it's 2. Disney World, Disneyland. There's just the 2 in America, and most people are nowhere near that, and a lot of people have never even been to a park before. So the good news is it's still Disney characters nonetheless, so at least they're all recognizable things, but some of the specifics to it are to Disneyland attractions, and I think they're kind of shooting themselves in the foot in that sense because so many people have no idea what that is. And it's pretty recognizable, but it might not be as special to people. For example, in this one, we got a little Adorbs ride here, and it's from It's a Small World. I think everyone's at least heard of that before. If you've never even been to Disneyland, I'm sure you've heard the song or heard about the ride in some sense, but you may not recognize the characters on there unless you've actually been to a Disneyland park. So that's something that's kind of weird about it. And the Tiny Town in itself is a reference to one of the lands, I think it is called Tiny Town, something like that, in the Disneyland park, so that's where the name comes from. And they have a lot of fun facts on here, which I really like too, but again, a lot of them are about the Disney parks and referencing to them. So that's just something to be aware of. But you know, the pop figure in here was just Tinkerbell, so it's not like that still has to do with Disney parks, but not that much. It's still a recognizable character. And the little mystery mini was of Jiminy Cricket. And the pictures on there are referencing the ride, I believe. Yeah, a little bit. But it's still characters that are recognizable enough, so at least those aspects of it are enjoyable to all. And like I said, there's a very recognizable pattern here, because almost every time it's the same thing. You get one pop figure, one mystery mini in a specialized tin, one patch that's part of a set, one pin, and then one other large object which is usually variable, and it tends to be a ride of some kind, a Dorbs ride, a pop ride, or a 6-inch pop oversized one, something like that. So that's kind of the pattern you can see from this company and what to expect from it. And like I said, the main variable there is going to be the characters. So I wouldn't say, if you don't know about the Disney parks, I wouldn't say you'd be disappointed by this box at all. That's just something to know going into it, so you're not disappointed when you do get the box. But if you're a Disney fan, I'd still say that's probably the best box for you, but that's probably a given. So that's kind of what you can expect from it, and the value on these is always pretty decent. Everything in there is 100% exclusive, but most boxes are these days. Most of them are 100% exclusive. That's just kind of the trend now, so there you go. That's what you can expect from that box. And I've personally always enjoyed it. I'm not a huge Disney character fan. I don't like every Disney character. I love the parks, but it's still pretty entertaining to see what they put together, and I love all the fun facts there. So, speaking of Funko, next on the list would be the Marvel Collector Core. This one usually follows a specific pattern too, but this month they actually broke that pattern. This month we got 2 pops, a shirt, and the usual patch and pin. Usually we get 1 pop and 1 variable. I don't really care too much. It doesn't make a big difference to me, but it's just good to know what to expect, or some people think so. And I really like the Iron Man one. They got the Mark I in there, which is like the original Iron Man, old school Iron Man suit, which I really like. I like that style. I thought that was cool. The other one was Vision. And Vision's a cool character, but he just, I don't know, the pop looked kind of ordinary. It didn't look super special by any means. It just looked like he had a cool pose, I guess, but I'm not a big fan of the old school Vision, like the yellow cape and the green suit and the red face. I don't know, I just didn't really like that old school look. I thought it looked kind of weird, but not a big deal or anything, but it just didn't stand out too much. But that's getting into real specifics there. The shirt was cool, and there's no comic this month, which I'm completely okay with, because the comics always suck. The only difference, the comics are exclusive just based on the cover, and the covers are always really shitty. They're always some rendition of a pop figure, and they're always really poorly designed, and they sell for practically nothing. They're almost worthless. They're just, so I don't mind not getting the comic at all. They always usually suck, so I'm pretty happy that it's not in there, because they're pretty much garbage for the most part. And the shirt's cool. It usually always has a pop theme on the shirt, and they're pretty pop heavy with these boxes, so that's what to expect. The patch and pin was normal though, and I thought those were both cool. So overall it was a good box. Nothing particularly amazing, but you know, it isn't always like that. There's a lot of Marvel movies coming up though, which will make for good boxes. I'm sure, I haven't checked on the site at all, I have no idea what's coming out, but if I'm willing to bet $1 million that I'm sure they're going to do one of Thor Ragnarok. I'm sure they will. I don't see why they wouldn't. So I'm guessing that's the next one, but I don't entirely know. I could be completely wrong, but it's just pretty obvious. Their movies and their boxes are usually pretty in line all the time. So that movie's coming up soon, and I think this one just came out, so it should be, the next one should be November, I think, and that's when the movie comes out, so I'm sure that'll happen just perfectly, which will be cool. It'll be cool to get some exclusive stuff from that movie, and that movie looks badass. I'm super excited for it, so that's something to look forward to. And the cool thing about the Funko ones, they're pretty straightforward with their themes. This one, and all the other ones, they say it's usually a specific character or a team, or the themes they pick, or it's always really obvious what you're going to get in there. Because like I said, the only variable between months is usually just the characters, and like there's a huge picture of characters on the front. Ironically, Thor actually isn't in this box, so it's odd that they put him on the front. Weird. Usually, normally it's in line, and you know exactly what to expect, so that's something good about it. There's usually nothing crazy surprising in there that you wouldn't expect to see. So there you go. There's the Marvel Collector Core. Alright. Moving on down the line. Next, one of my personal favorites has always been a bandbox. Now, this one's specialty is autographed items. The bandbox is a company that also owns a signature company, so the thing they specialize in is signatures, and we get one in every box. Also that and artwork, and pretty valuable artwork because it's always signed and numbered. And the artist for the artwork is always pretty random. They're usually not very well-known people, but the signatures they get are always at least recognizable people. This one I was actually really happy about. We got a little shark in there from Sharknado, and it was actually signed by Tara Reid. I really liked that. I thought that was really cool. Usually we just get a photo. It's usually just a photo of the actor or voice actor or something like that, and their signature on there, which is fine. That's still cool. But I really liked that they actually had an item in there. And it was a really cheesy item. It's a goofy, like, 25-cent shark. But I still thought that was really cool because it's something to now put on display and not just another thing to put in a frame. So I thought that was really cool. And I'm really happy to get Tara Reid. And I know that Sharknado is pretty much the only thing she's done recently. She's kind of fell off the face of the earth. But, you know, I was a big fan of, like, the American Pie series, and that's what I remember her from. So I was pretty happy to get a signature from her. I thought that was really cool, and I loved the little shark, and I thought it was just kind of funny that it's just a shark with her signature on it. It's just kind of stupid in a way, but I thought that was really entertaining. I got a good laugh out of it, and I thought that was a really good choice. And Bandbox has always had fantastic pins. They do a really good job on their pins. And this month we got some Futurama ones. I happened to get one of the rare ones, which was Zoidberg, but I honestly would have been happy with Bender. But yeah, they do a really good job on those as well. And then other than that, we usually get some random kind of prop replica. We've got a lot of these before where it's like an ID. And that's funny. This one's from Superbad. So that one's kind of funny. Not really worth much. It's just kind of in there as filler. But other than that, they really do quality stuff. And it's really special because it's things you're not getting in any other box. They really do a good job, and I'm always pretty happy with it. So that's what you get. And the signatures of famous people, they typically aren't like crazy famous. They're usually around fame quality of like Tara Reid, where they probably did something a long time ago and aren't so famous anymore, but it's still cool to see nonetheless. So I always find it entertaining, and I always get a kick out of what they say. But yeah, that's what they specialize in. Alright, next down the list, we've got Loot Crate. One that's been here since day one, and one that's always a crowd pleaser. It's just so damn cheap, and they really give good stuff. They always give 100% exclusive things. Sometimes some of their picks and choices are kind of weird, but it's usually never that big a deal, because for only 20 bucks, it's just you're never really losing that much money. But something in here that I really loved this time around was we got an exclusive sculpture in here, which was from Adventure Time, and that was of the Ice King and Gunter. So I thought that was, I really liked it. I thought it was a really funny statue, and the quality on it's like decent. It's not amazing or anything, but you know, it couldn't be that high quality because it's a very simplistic cartoon. But I thought that was really, really cool to get a nice little statue, and I think it's really awesome. I'm going to put it on display, so I was really happy about that. I think that was a really good choice, and the fact that it was exclusive is really cool as well. That in itself made the box worth it, so I thought that was a really good choice. And the shirt was pretty badass too. We got a little glass, a heat change glass from Lord of the Rings. We see a lot of those in boxes, like heat change mugs and heat change glasses. This one's a little different because it's like kind of clear. So it's not the normal mug, so it has a little bit of a different spin on it, which I thought was pretty cool. And then we got some artwork in there from, again, Lord of the Rings. And I believe that was it. And then we got like a pin, I think, that always has some exclusive content if you go on the website. So this box is just, there's usually only like one item in there that I really love, but it always makes it worth it. For 20 bucks, that one item usually is worth it, because honestly, I probably would have paid 20 bucks for that statue if I just saw it in a store, maybe even more, so that totally makes it worth it. And the shirt's always pretty good and good in quality, so it's really tough to go wrong with this box. One of the problems, though, it's not like some of these Funko boxes where the theme is super obvious. Their themes are a little more ambiguous, so it's hard to tell exactly what's going to be in there. So that's why I've said, like, a lot of times you get it, it's like they pick really odd stuff, and it's hard to tell what's going to be in there. But like I said, it's so cheap, you're just not risking that much money. So even if you get weird stuff, it's just not that big a deal. You're usually not that bummed out because you really didn't waste much. And they have such a good referral program, so you can constantly get discounts on your boxes. So that's great. But every once in a while we get, like, they have partnerships with like Funko and Quantum Mechanics that get really awesome figures, and every once in a while those are exclusive too. And again, if you get even one of those, it totally makes it worth it. So this one is kind of eclectic. It's a little bit of everything. It's hard to hone in what it's about, but it's a pretty safe bet in my opinion. And this is one that's been here since day one, so I'm always happy with it, and it'll probably stay forever. Alrighty, one more box to go. And the final box, we got Lootaku. And this one is great. Typically, anime themed or somewhere along that. This is from Hong Kong, so it's all imported stuff, which is really cool. Definitely more expensive, definitely a bigger box. So this is going to be for more specialty stuff, stuff that you're not finding in America. Stuff that's usually a little bigger, like sculptures and statues. Things that are a little higher quality, so you're paying a little more, but you're getting more in quality and you're getting bigger stuff. So it just kind of depends on your taste, whether you just like cheap, fun stuff, or whether you like big, nice quality stuff. So that gives some variation. And it's almost, like I said, almost always anime themed or something along those lines. And this one was kind of a crossover. The theme was Assassins, and they said before it's going to be Naruto, Attack on Titan, and Hunter x Hunter. So these are all very popular anime. I'm not super familiar with any one of these in particular. I definitely have heard of them all. I've definitely checked them out to some degree, but I'm not super knowledgeable in them. So a lot of these things in here weren't like amazing to me, but I can still respect it just as far as quality and based on the things they picked. And a lot of times they do get things that are exclusive, and the fact that you couldn't get them in America anyway is really great. We got a really nice backpack in there from Attack on Titan, and it's really nice quality. Like, it's a full-size backpack, and it's very, very nice, and I like it. And then we got some little sculptures in here. We got pop figures. Sometimes we'll get those, which we get here in America, but sometimes they're Asian exclusives. And we got some cards here that are not sold in stores, and just some other useful stuff. So even when I don't know the theme, and even when I don't recognize the anime in particular, the stuff in here is always very impressive. It's always very well done, and it's always very high in quality. It's never like cheap filler crap. It's always just very nicely done stuff that people have taken the time to really make something high in quality, and they definitely do so. So the only problem for me is that I don't know a lot of anime. I love anime, I just, you know me, I don't have time for anything, so when new ones come out, I never get around to checking them out, so that's the only bummer. That's specific to me, though, so if you don't know a lot about anime, that may be a reason not to check this out, but if you're a big anime fan, you definitely wouldn't be disappointed in anything you get here. It is very expensive. It ends up being closer to like $60, depending on where you live, to get this box, but you absolutely get what you paid for, so at least there's that. They really give decent value, and it's always a good time. And I always see things in here that I've never seen before. And for someone like me with all this stuff, it's really hard to do. It's really hard to find things that I haven't personally seen before. So that's something really cool, and I've always liked that, and they never really cease to amaze me. So there you go. Those are the 5 boxes I have left, and like I said at the beginning, in my opinion, these are the best of the best. Over the years that I've done this, these are the ones that have stuck around and have always been around because they've never been bad to me. They've always done a good job, and I've always liked the stuff in there. Now that I hopefully will have more time, I will check out some of these new companies. I'm not super ambitious about it because I'm always hesitant to try out new box companies because they always suck at first and they just fall right to the bottom of the countdown, so it's kind of a bummer, and I don't have time to do individual reviews, so there's that too, but I'm going to try my best to do that. I'm going to look into some of these new boxes, try and introduce them to get this countdown with more boxes, because 5 just isn't that much compared to what's out there, and I haven't even gotten an opinion on some of these new companies, and I've heard a lot of good things about them. So I'm going to try to get on that the best I can, and do more collectible reviews and more collecting advice in the future. I have some ideas, and again, let me know what you guys think on my ideas in the beginning, what the best way to do some reviews is, and what the best thoughts and process may be for you guys. And you know, maybe I'll switch to a bi-monthly review, because so many of these boxes come every other month. Maybe the ones that come every month, I'll put them together and average them out. Like, I don't know. You guys let me know. I was hesitant to do bi-monthly because then I might only be posting a video every 2 months if I get busy, so I'm not sure. Again, let me know your guys' opinions, and let's talk about it in the comments. And there's a lot of other things that I'd like to talk about as well. So as always, thank you all for watching. Thank you for tuning in. I hope to see more of you guys in the very near future. Thank you all. Love you all so much. Peace.